And so the world opened up for me. Prior to that time, I was miserable. Really, really was. I mean, I had good moments too. You're young, you're always happy when you're young. But a lot of times I was miserable. And I didn't know why, but I was acquiring skills, not even aware of it. And so the reason I write that is when you develop that skill, when you're serious about it, because I was very serious about writing, you change your brain, you rewire your brain. It's like, and this is a remarkable power of the human brain that people don't realize. Something I'm also writing in my new book. Um, this one writer, his name is Schwartz, I believe. He's a UCLA neuroscientist. He wanted to help people who had OCD, right? Obsessive compulsive disorder. And usually it's drugs and it's talking therapy. He wanted to find out something more effective. And he found that through certain strategies that he developed, that they could use in their life, that they would get over their disorder. And the point isn't what the strategies were. The point was he did brain scans. And through the strategies that he gave them to do, which I can't remember right now, the brain scans show that they changed the brain. And his point was,
Well, we know that the brain's extremely malleable. We know that now. It's literally like clay, and we're always rewiring new circuits and synaptic connections. And the more you learn a certain skill, the more you create an interstate, almost an interstate of neural network connections. These like they're super thick compared to normal synaptic connections, and that's a specialty. And so what Robert's done is he developed a specialty in writing through his buffet of world experience through different avenues of writing. Whoops, sorry about that. And so at the end of the day, what he's suggesting is that we can all do this, and the science is now showing that it can be done as well, even taking away a condition, OCD, from the study he's citing. Pretty interesting stuff. Um, yeah,
through thinking, through developing skills, you literally change matter, you change your brain.
pretty crazy.
So something non-material like thoughts can literally change material things like the wiring of your brain. You learn skills, you're changing your brain, you're changing the matter of your brain. Things are
Insane.
connecting that weren't connected before.
Do you guys see how insane this is? Do we even think about this on a fundamental level of how the program in our head, the software, we all have the same hardware, the body and the brain. Human beings. You're a human being. I'm a human being. Robert's a human being. But we all have a fundamentally different brain or different software. And as our thoughts, our feelings, our emotions, and the things that we do or coordinate within our skill based reality, we're literally changing the matter of our brain, not just the software, but the actual matter of our brain. That's pretty cool to come to a full realization about. It kind of makes you a little bit more conscientious and responsible for the things that you decide to focus on and or want to build. So you know that if you want to swing a baseball bat or you want to learn how to shoot pool really well, you're going to build super interstate highways of synaptic connections. But the moment you stop doing that, let's say you're grinding for hours a day because it's new and it's fresh and it's exciting, you're going to rewire your brain to become a better craftsman at that thing. But the moment you drop it for weeks or months or years, it goes away because the hardware, the actual brain changes. And so you have to realize that if you're not elevating the standard in yourself, which sounds, a cliche, it's like, oh, it's boring. You're degenerating. You're never that brain of yours is never staying the same. It's actually reducing its capability. And so Robert's suggesting that to rewire your brain, it takes concentrated focus and effort and application. But that's really cool because then it takes away the excuse that we can't do it. We all have the fundamental similar hardware. So it's the work required, all that discipline, focus, attention, hyper focus, conscious intent, visualization, strategy, mapping it out, focusing on it rather than our fears. Because if you're focusing on your fears, you're going to create a certain chaotic brain. And so there's a shift here that he's mentioning. And this should be really empowering to anybody who watches this. I'm no expert. I just pay attention to stuff and I like discussing it. I like bringing it about to other people who might be interested in it as well. And let's see what he says here.
And slowly, if you do it, if you're serious enough, a point will be reached like it was reached in my life, where either you will start a business or someone will ask you to do something like write a book or make a film, and the world will open up for you and you'll be able to do it because you have that. You've laid the ground, you've laid the soil, everything is there, it's rich, and now something great, amazing will sprout up out of it. When you have no talents and you have no skill, life is a series of endless confusion. You hit this road, you go here, then something else, you go here, then you go here, you end up in a circle and you don't know where the hell you are. When you've got skills, zoom, you know where to go. It's not zoom, it's more like, but you're headed
Meander.
somewhere. Yeah, it's not.
Yeah.
I don't know if we're being filmed, but so yeah, so that's my answer to your question.
Isn't it interesting that the accumulation of skills period at the time can be a little bit like being in the trenches? You have no promise of glory.
Yeah.
You don't know if this is even going to work.
Yeah,
You have no idea whether this is worth it. And you don't even have the context of how the journalism, with the novel, with the Hollywood, with the interpersonal skills, with the guy that you meet in Italy, with the so on, Germany, blah, 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 blah. It's only in retrospect that you get to piece this entire arc together. And I think it's one of the reasons why reserving judgment on whether or not the situation you were in right now is good or bad.
I think that's something we do very much underestimate, particularly as men. I feel like men don't really hit their stride until 30, 35. And I feel it's really good for men to have a massive amount or a buffet of adventurous experience, trying a ton of different things, because you're building a toolkit for life. How you do anything is how you do anything is how you do everything. If you're not giving 100% at something, you're probably not getting the best takeaway from that experience. So I like to layer life that what I'm doing today is always going to lead to a skill that I need that's required for the future. And so if it's mundane or boring or monotonous or tedious, it's okay, because that skill set is going to set me up later in life. That allows you to get through the grind a little bit better. You have a little bit more purpose behind the monotony. And these guys are suggesting that, what seems aimless or not really good value at the time could be the skill that you needed to advance you to what you needed in your brain fundamentally. So pursue passions, pursue high aims, see how far you can get. Plug in as much as you can with all your free time, because we know that if we're not spending our free time wisely, we're usually down in the gutter, or we're distracting ourselves, and we do it long enough, we start actually having a narrative that we're lazy and we can't do it. That's just not true. You just have distracted yourself for so long that you've conditioned yourself biologically now, and it's going to take a lot more resilience to break out of that spell. But it can be done, and these guys are showing that they're not special or different, but they've applied the application.
Is probably a pretty good idea, because you just don't know what's around the corner that you've been preparing for that you didn't even know existed.
Yes, but there are parameters to it. It's not like it's total mystery in the moment. So, going back to
Touche.
what bothers me about philosophy, we're so caught up in things that are rational, things that can be put into numbers, quantifiable data, big data, AI, et cetera, et cetera. But the human consciousness is more subtle than that, is more fine-grained. No numbers can actually approximate what human consciousness is capable of. And what we have sometimes is we have an intuition about things in the moment.
Ooh.
So maybe in retrospect, I'm creating a story that didn't really exist back then. But at the same time, I kind of knew of the future. I kind of knew that this would happen. I had a feeling of fate. It was always there. It's weird. I know it sounds woo-woo. I'm sorry to say, but it's very real. And I've studied millions of
We're okay with a little woo woo here on our channel.
successful, famous people, and a lot of them report the same thing. Sometimes you don't realize it, but your body and your brain has a sense of even the future and of where you're headed, but you're not totally aware of it. So I knew that I wanted to be a writer. So if people don't know that they want to be a writer, they don't know they want to go into engineering, it's that they'll never make those little connections that I was able to make. And having that sense that you want to be a writer, that you want to make films, that you want to start a particular kind of business, if you're interested in technology, creates a framework in your brain that kind of changes how you make decisions. You're not totally conscious of it, but not everything in life you're totally conscious of. Things are operating below the level. So it's the chapter I'm writing right now about my Sublime book. There is something in you that is guiding you towards certain things.
Ooh.
Right? Guided you towards podcasting. I don't know your life. I don't know your biography before then, but something inched you towards that. What is that? It's interesting to find out. It's not all just chaos and random is what I'm...
That's cool. He's saying follow your gut, follow your intuition, get in those silent places where you can go within and know what fundamentally has what drives you. I haven't fully read all of his book called Mastery, but I do think that he iterated, I could be wrong here, it's been a little bit, that we fundamentally as children know what we're really in alignment with spontaneously. We would want to do, or we wanted to become, or we just naturally gravitated to. I think he suggests in that book that that's your true calling or your true vocation. And we want to see like jobs and career as a vocation. This massive amount of energy reserve for a particular vocation. As you can tell, I'm extremely interested in personal development. I love it. I could talk about it all day. I have no idea at 38 years old how I'm supposed to, what I'm supposed to do with that. I have no idea. Is it YouTube? Is it reaction videos and just talking off the cuff? Well, I'm doing what I love. This I could do every day. I'm not going to lie. I want to write. I'm thinking about going to psychology. I've thought about maybe becoming a lawyer. Like, I don't really know. And then all the schooling required with like all of that. It's a lot. But I don't know how to put it together. Like, there's a million ways I could go. So that kind of stumbles me a bit, But I think he's saying that, this is your niche vocation. You want to help better people in your unique way. And I still don't know how to build a business with it or give so much value that people do pay me for it. I'm not sure. But the reason I share this with you is because I'm on the struggle bus too. Is like I invest so much time into something that I love, but I still don't know where it's all going. I don't know my path. I think I have ideas or scenarios, but deep down I really don't. But deep down paradoxically, I know it's something to do with this. It's something to do with this. So I just want to encourage you to continuously follow these gut visceral challenges into like. I think the reason I like it so much is because I feel like I'm supposed to like be a part of it. And so like I spend a lot of time reading, a lot of time curating information. Because one, I love it, and two, I feel like I'm meant to learn stuff to help others. I guess. That's all I know. So like we're on this channel, I'm not doing these videos to show you that I have everything figured out. I don't. I definitely don't. So if you don't have it all figured out, it's okay, bro. But I think we have to have like big aims, like not just sit in the mediocrity because we are aimless. To like, don't get super specific if you can't. Like, but start in the niche, start in the vocation, Start building your craftsmanship and your skills within that vocation and see where that path takes you organically. That's a cool thing about the road to success is everyone talks about there's a formula. There really isn't a formula. I just think the biggest formula is always learning and always aiming up, because that's how you evolve and grow and get, I don't know, you connect the next dot. But if we're stuck in mediocrity and we're just literally coasting, I don't think there's any way to actually get better, and we don't really maximize our potential. I just feel like everyone has such a vast potential, like a vast potential, and I want to unlock that in people, because I know that makes humanity better, because it makes you better, it makes your society better, your community better, those around you better, and if you're better, I'm better, and the world's better, and that's pretty cool. All right, thank you so much for checking this out. If you liked it, please give a like. Please subscribe to the channel if you're new, and I will touch base with you guys on the next video. Take care. Peace.